I got the laptop out because this is how serious I'm taking this type of episode, such as how to protect your peace while in college. Or take that time and then go touch some grass. We're gonna have a conversation about it. I'm Dejanay, and I am a sophomore at the illustrious Clark Atlanta University. I can't even believe I'm giving advice, but I think I've been doing a pretty good job. But we're gonna have a conversation about it because I feel like as a college student, there's so much things that we go through when we navigate, and regardless of what personal life you are having in your life personally, you still have your academic studies. And sometimes what you're going through in your personal life is not enough of an excuse for you to table your academics. So in reality, you end up having to table your personal life, whether that's things going on at home, things going on in your living situation with your roommate, things going on with your boo, stinker, situationship, whatever you want to call it. You really have to table your feelings. When I get in conflict with friends, which rarely ever happens, one thing I always try to do is if I notice that they don't think before they do, I block them. Like if they're going on a rant and I feel like they're disrespecting me in some type of way, I'm sorry, you have to get blocked before you disrespect me to the point where there's no way of coming back. And it's not even like I'm blocking you to disrespect you back or anything. I'm blocking you because I feel like right now you are not in the right headspace to have a conversation with me. So let me put you on a pause before you say something that is gonna be very, very regretful for you and me, where like I could have just blocked you and not heard of it. Although I feel like sometimes people just say things out of anger and they don't necessarily mean it, or sometimes they do mean it. Please talk to me like you have some type of sense. So when you are ready to have a respectful conversation with me, then I will unblock you, or when I know that you are in a better mental state. I just say to both of us, honestly, because I don't want to have any conflict with you, and I hope you don't want to have any conflict with me. And yeah, so let's table it. Managing your own emotions. This is something really, really big. I feel like if I am in an iffy spot with a friend, maybe she's mad at me or he's mad at me for some type of reason, or maybe I'm talking to somebody that I like and we're getting to know each other, or whatever the case may be, or maybe me and a family member has something that we disagree with. I personally had to put things on a back burner in the back of my mind that we had some type of disagreement. And this is because I know that I have 2 exams coming up. I have multiple meetings coming up. I'm taking a travel for a conference. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't have time to necessarily talk about the situation and it not end up being a positive outcome. I really don't. So I think I table things until I'm ready to, be comfortable with whether the outcome is going to be a positive or a negative. And then I give myself time to recover from that. Like, hey, I know I'm not doing anything this Sunday. Let's have a conversation that Sunday morning just so that I can sit on it for that Sunday if I need to. If I know I'm going to have that conversation, I'll finish my assignments before Sunday so I know that I have time for it. It's really about what is a priority and whether or not you want to have that conversation. But you also don't want to put things on the back burner to the point where you're kind of letting it play out and you're seeing this person in between your classes, or you're not really associating with them as much, or like just certain things that like it's about time that y'all talk to each other. Like, you don't want to neglect things, but you also don't want to put yourself in the position where you end up feeling emotionally not okay, that you neglect your academics. I think that's something really, really big. And that's also part of knowing how to manage, like time management. You have to know how to time manage your feelings to feel a type of way if you need to. And that's something that people don't really tell you when you get to college. I think that's something that you also kind of factor in from what you learn in college into your career as well. So it's just a really good life lesson, to be honest with you. I also feel like learning or being confident in yourself enough to know that I do not need to have a conversation with multiple friends to know that my feelings are valid enough. I just need to sit down and journal, or I'm not even a journaling person, so I don't even know why I said that to y'all. But what I do is I just contemplate it. Like, I just think about it throughout my day, throughout my week. This is what happened, and I don't need to talk to multiple people in order to feel validated. I think sometimes when you speak to multiple friends, which is another thing I'm going to talk about, when you speak to multiple friends about something that's going on in your life negatively, especially negatively, it kind of like seems like you're kind of like not exactly confident in the decisions that you make in your life, um or you're not very like secure in who you believe yourself to be or who you want to be, because at the end of the day, decisions that you make or what goes on in your life and the decisions that are being made are made by you, and it's your life. So you have to just be able to take ownership and accountability of the decisions that you make, and not need that type of reassurance of like, hey, did I make the right decision? Although I'm not saying to navigate this timing of your life alone, but I will say to be very, very conscious of who you're communicating to about your life. That's all. Because a listening ear one day can be a running mouth the next. I also want to add in this factor too. I'm not really big on communicating to my friends who tell me their friend's business. Um, I actually don't even have friends that do that, to be honest. So yeah, no, that's a no-go to me. I feel like if you are comfortable enough, even if your friend had did something to you and you guys are not on good terms right now, loyalty overrides emotion. I don't care if you and your friend are not in good terms and you're explaining what they did to you to me and you're venting to me. Don't tell me your friend's business. That's a little too far. Just tell me what they did to you, and like, keep it simple. That's it. Because what you feed to me about someone else's business, I'm gonna start thinking that you feed that to other people, that you feed my business to other people. Or I think if we have a little bump in the road, that you're gonna feel comfortable enough that that gives you the opportunity to communicate, my flaws and the things that I have done in my personal life, and it doesn't. So that's another thing that I definitely like keep in mind always. One major thing I also do, I mute stories and posts. I feel like if I'm in that process where I am protecting my peace, I don't have the capacity right now in my academic life to make time to come up with this thing that I need to take accountability for, or something that I need to, defend myself about and communicate with someone about, then I'm not, I don't want to see you anywhere. Like, if I see you passing by, cool, whatever. But like, as for social media, if I don't want to see you, I don't have to. And that means my social media as well. I'm very quick to mute stories and posts and stuff, because I just feel like it's just a way of protecting my peace, out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Not bringing the type of energy that you got from the argument or from something that rubs you off the wrong type of way into your classroom environment, to the gym, to the cafeteria, to the next conversation that you're having with somebody. Like, I feel like if that's the case, then you need to like sit down and deal with it on your own. Like, just give yourself a moment. Don't go in and impose the energy that you're currently having in your life and put it on other students or other people in your environment, because we're all going through something in life. So if it's class, go to class. But if it's anything extra that you don't need to do and you need to just wrap up your emotions, take that time and stay in your dorm and talk. And if the issue is within your dorm, take that time and go be with a friend, or take that time and then go touch some grass. And if it's raining outside, sit out there with the umbrella and breathe some nice fresh air. These are the timings that are really going to change you and who you are and build your character. Learning how to navigate situations and find a solution. And it may not be sunny and rainbows and unicorn, but that's not what life is about. Sometimes you have to sit down and notice the bad in order to appreciate the good. So sit out there with your umbrella and think about life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Another way that I also protect my peace, I would have to say that I don't procrastinate things. I know sometimes I still end up procrastinating it, but I think one thing I really do not like is when I've been procrastinating so much and then I get in that emotions where like, wow, this person really just annoyed me, or I'm in just like a really like annoyed or a bad situation, or something had just triggered me emotionally where I feel like I don't really have the mental capacity to complete my work. That is the worst. And that's probably what has made me try not to procrastinate as much, because the same way I'm gonna say, you know, don't bring your energy from the day before into the next day, is the same thing I'm gonna say, you don't know what today or tomorrow brings. So always be on top of the things that you need to do, just so that you're prepared, and things are getting done. Because at the end of the day, like I said, your emotions keep on going, time will keep on going, and so will those due dates and assignments that keep popping up. It's gonna keep going, it's not gonna stop for you. So remain prominent. I would also like to say, like, a little tip that I do, I don't know if this works for everybody, but as somebody that has anxiety, there's something that I love to do, which is staying up late at night to do assignments. I feel like when everybody else is sleeping, the world is on a pause, and I'm not doing assignments with a ticking time bomb of when the assignment is due. I just feel like I'm free and I'm submitting it when I need to submit it, and I'm focused on what I'm doing. This may not work for everybody. Everybody might be opposite, but this is what has worked for me. And that's something that I found out probably like my second semester of college, and it's been working beautifully for me. Beautifully. Knowing the difference between resolving a situation and giving it space. This definitely depends on the type of person you are, but also the type of person that you need to communicate with. If you know that they're a hothead and they say things that they may not mean and they don't think twice, give it some space. Give it some space. If you know that they're a quick act and they like to fix things head on and they have the capacity for it, if that's something you're comfortable with, then so be it. But then again, like I said, protect your peace, because they're also going to protect their peace. If they have upcoming assignments and they can't deal with this emotionally right now, cool, let's table that. But let's not close the conversation. And the same thing with you. If you have things coming up and assignments coming up, cool. I have a lot of things coming up. I'm not trying to put you to the side, but I really got to prioritize this, and then we can have a conversation about it. There's nothing wrong with putting your education first at all. At all. I also would like to say that peace is a practice and not a permanent state. I'm not going to tell you after you watch this video or when you begin watching this video that you are going to start feeling like, oh my God, I'm always going to be peaceful. No, it's something that you practice and something that you kind of overall just end up developing mentally, for you to put yourself in a mental type of state that you can juggle being an academic baddie or whatever, academic person, on top of managing a young adult life. Like, I just laugh at it because, boy, I can't even believe I'm giving advice, but I think I've been doing a pretty good job. So overall, protecting your peace is a really big thing, and I think I do a really good job at it. um I think something like I also kind of want to add is just giving yourself grace. I can't sit here and say I did everything right during undergrad and I didn't have my mistakes during these 2 years of college, but I think the biggest thing is, you know, taking accountability and taking acknowledge of when you fell short. And also just knowing when to prioritize things, when to table your feelings. Um, I think that one of the biggest things for me is sometimes grieving friendships or relationships. You know, we don't necessarily get the time to process things, because, and this isn't even like grievance of someone passing away, but just like grieving someone who's still alive. As college students, we don't really get to process the fact that, wow, this person is no longer in my life, because we have an assignment due at 11:59. We have 3 meetings the next following day. We have an exam the next following day. We have a big interview that we have to go to. we have this internship and scholarship to apply for. There's so much things that happens in a college student's life that when it comes to juggling their personal life as well, or trying to just figure out whether I emotionally with somebody, whether that's a friendship, a relationship, a family member, it's so hard to navigate that at the same time going to school. And imagine if you're working on top of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I have so much more to talk about and any type of advice. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know.